when I had enough. He elbowed me in the chest again. The first time his elbow hit me squarely on one of my breasts, I thought it was a mistake and that he didn't have any idea I was standing just behind him. So I took 2 steps back and stood half obscurely behind the door. But his elbow found its way again to nudge my breast, and this time followed with an all-knowing flick of an eye. I was astounded and could not just comprehend what had happened. This occurred in my very house, the place we call home, our final sanctuary in the world, and also right outside my room. The room I am in right now, writing this. He was a 70-year-old man, a neighbor, and a friend and colleague of my uncle, also high-ranked retired government official. We were getting the house painted, and it was my uncle who had sent those painters. So after the work was finished, he asked his friends who lived in the next lane to supervise the measurements of the house for final payment. I was trailing behind them to see what they were doing, and I was also aware of his eyes on my chest from the start. Actually was quite skeptical of him coming to our house, as I was known to his lechery. Once before, he had visited my house with his wife, and as I served him water, he trailed a finger on the side of my palm, which I thought was a mere accident, and tried to keep my hand a little away when serving him tea. But he still managed to trail his finger on my hand. I had then let it go, fuming inside. But I started notice he would try and stop me whenever we crossed each other and would honk to get my attention. I avoided him as much as possible, as his eyes wandering all over my body made me very uncomfortable. Never in the world thought he would do such a thing, that too in my very own house. But today he was invited to my house, so he thought he could get away with anything. The expression on his face, the flick of his eyes, the nudge made my mind literally go blank for a few seconds and was shocked to even move from there. As I got my senses back, my first instinct was to push him down the stairs, drag him and throw him out of the gate. But how would I explain this to everyone? Who would believe me? What proof I had? It would create a scandal in which only I would be smeared with muck, having no proof. As according to the society, a person the age of my grandfather would never do such a thing, not even mentioning his status in the society. My father having expired years back, and my brother is only 11 years old, which ruled out the possibility of involving them. My mother, of course, would have understood me, but I then thought involving her and telling her all these would upset her, and I didn't want that, as I was not a child, being 26 years old at the time. Well, both the workers were eyeing me pityingly, having seen the old man section. They all went ahead with the work, and I just stood in the terrace behind my room numbly. I was close to tears. All kind of thoughts crossed my mind. Should I just let it go? Forget it? But would I be then ever able to meet my own eyes? No, you have to go to do something. You have always been headstrong, having a daunting character. How could you be so weak? Aren't you ashamed? Teach him a lesson. Otherwise you will regret this and will never be able to live with it. Never able to forgive yourself for letting him go. Many such thoughts were zapping across my mind when my mother called me to make cold drinks for the painters and the uncle. I had an idea then. Smiling to myself, formulating the idea, I went to the kitchen and started making tea. My mother told me, "I asked you to make cold drinks, not tea. It's noon and hot outside." I said, "But mummy, the workers like tea any time of the day." So I made tea and also served them all, just leaving uncle's tea for the last, who was sitting on the sofa, going through the calculation, some sheets of paper. I grabbed the saucer in my left hand and cup in right, went up to him. He told me to keep the tea on the table, but I insisted him to take it, smilingly shyly. He was floored, grinning slyly, kept the papers aside and extended his hand to take the tea. I tilted the cup then and down went the piping hot tea all over the left side of his neck, shoulders and chest. He stood up, bristling with pain, the tea having seeped right through his thin shirt. I muttered a sorry and ran to the back compound. Then I stood with relief, smiling, so proud of myself. I pumped the air going, yes, yes, yes. I was so happy. I laughed out loud, even clapped, hoping a little. Yes, my mother called me back into the house, where I was very sorry to the uncle with my big innocent eyes. But he knew, and I knew he knew. I was thinking, how lucky you are, uncle, that it was just a cup of tea and not a pan of hot oil. He has never tried to flag me down since or attempted to visit my house. His wife told my mother a few days later that he had red burns on his left side. My mother apologized profusely, but I was so elated. I had taught him a lesson. Hey, thank you for listening to the story. I hope you liked it. So this story is written by Khushbu Mehta. You can read more stories written by her on Prata Lipi application. You can find it on Google Play Store. Thank you.